10 for 10,000. Day 21. Abuse? Not me. Never one time did I ever say that word, abuse, while I was still married. I actually never even said that word until 2017, that I said, claimed, and owned that I was in an abusive marriage. Never once. It wasn't until 2017, when I started writing, that all of this information was just flooding. I was writing and the clarity was coming. And I remember in the typing thinking, I just came to this stop. And reading through the last sentence, I said out loud, this is abuse. I find that really, that's two-part interesting and telling. How much of denial and how much of maybe cultural to not really say those things out loud. I always just thought, well, they were the trials, the problems, the challenges that happen in marriage. That's what I had labeled that. They were challenges. Sure, sometimes he got mad, but we all can get mad. All of these things that just tick off excuses. When I owned it and labeled it, it was very different. I actually went through one of these kinds of up and down cycles of understanding what a victim is with a conscious label on that and changing that victim to a victor. All interesting work, tough work. So maybe some of you are out there thinking, oh, we just have problems and struggles in the marriage and, it's okay, we can keep going for good, for bad, for health, for sickness. A lot of that is true. But if you find yourself going down and constantly excusing the other person, and that other, person, your spouse, does not want to change or feels like there's not even a problem here, that's a bigger problem. It's really interesting to understand that. And when you label it, like I did on that day when I was typing through, it was freeing. And it also kind of had me spiral a little bit because I had to really own that. And in owning it, it didn't become an identity. It didn't become this or this, because I knew that trap. Because you can just stay stuck in the victim and relaying the story again and again and again without any direction on where to go and goal. That was not my point. And I think that was part of the fear of not labeling it. When I labeled it, identified it, then set a plan to know how to not stay there and stay stuck, that was the freeing and liberation part. So, if you feel stuck, if you feel like you've labeled things and you're just still spinning in that cycle, it's time to see where you can go and move to. Maybe you are trying to write your story. Maybe you need some support. I would love to be able to be that support for you. And again, if this resonated with you, fantastic. If not, just keep listening every day and we'll find some light for you. We'll see you. Thanks.